Alright guys, here's some things about the trike that if you're interested in looking at it, something that I get a lot of questions about. So, I built this VFR reverse trike out of a Honda VFR, 2000 800cc V4 engine, which is why it sounds so mean. And although there's quite a lot of addition here, it is still registered as a motorcycle, pretty cheap on insurance actually, and it should pass all of the emissions testing in other states. I'm in Ohio, so we don't have that, but it has the a catalytic converter still, and it doesn't have any lights on it. This bike does have a light to tell if there's anything wrong with it. So that's the base bike, and then I modified the frame, as you can see, by welding on struts or supports and taking it into the frame that I built here, as well as also there's no gas tank on this. I tried to clean it up a little bit, keep the CG low, and I built my own 2 fuel tanks, one on this side, and then this side houses the fuel pump. Runs along these lines to the engine. And also, if you know about VFRs, they come with single-sided swing arms. This one is obviously not single-sided. It was off of a CBR 929, and as you can see, I modified it to match the VFR mounting points there. Still drives great, tracks well. This tire on the back of the ear gets good traction. If you hit it though, it'll spin that out. You can see that I've done that a couple times. And all the electronics are housed in here, and it is rainproof. I have double checked. It's also got a commander, Power Commander 2 in there, and so that's how you can tune it. I've already done quite a bit of tuning on this to get it right. And now for the additions. As you can see, the black bars are all the frame that I added. And I built this frame with help from a previous F1 racer. And so he helped me figure out the triangulation and the geometry for strength. And so that's how you can see used Schedule 40 pipes for the rollover bars. These seats are out of a 3000 GT, and they are fully adjustable. You got your adjustment for moving forward and backward, also for reclining here. And the 4-point harness is also adjustable, so if you're a little bit bigger or smaller than I am, then it'll fit you right in. The steering wheel is just a racing wheel that I got. The tach and speedometer is from a Gixxer, as well as the mirrors. And then the information center is actually from the bike. It's got fuel, temperature, ambient air temperature, tripometer, a bunch of neat stuff for a bike, which most of them don't have. And then also got a glove box in case you want to store something without getting it stolen, since this is not a typical car that doesn't have a body to hold it. The steering rack is out of a 98 Camry. Let's see, it goes down here. And then I made the tie rods from here to here. And that's what controls the steering. It steers pretty well. I don't have any problems with that, even though it's not power. It doesn't take much to turn the wheel. Even my wife can drive it, no problems. Then the fun part, all of the front suspension. What really makes it handle well is the double wishbone suspension here. Also made that as well, along with the multiple Heim joints to control camber, caster, and toe. And there is quite a bit of adjustment here. So I used an alignment rack when I was at the shop. Also had a couple other tools to check the kingpin inclination and really get this thing traveling good down the road right. The hubs are from a 1990 Infiniti Q45. It's got a lot of braking power for what this thing is. It'll definitely stop on a dime for you. And speaking of brakes, there is a line lock right here that serves as a parking brake. And back farther down the line, there is a reducer that reduces the input of the brakes to the rear wheel so that they stop equally. More about the brakes is this master cylinder is from a 2005 Equinox. And so all these parts are pretty easy to get to. I got them from junkyards. And so if anything goes wrong, they're easy to replace. The clutch cylinder is actually the one from the bike, just modified with some pedals to be able to drive it. And back to the suspension. It's got a push rod double wishbone suspension, so it's pretty easy to adjust a lot of things like ride height. These shocks are actually adjustable as well, so you can adjust compression and rebound, and there's a lot of things to play with here, as well as, you know, there's multiple slots for different kinds of racing depending on what you want to do. Also adjust ride height. You can make this whatever you want. You can have a lot of adjustment here to make it ride exactly how you like it. I already have it set up the way I like it. If you want to play around with it when it's yours, you're more than welcome to. I'd be happy to help you figure it out too. And since I don't have the restrictions of a small area, I can use a bigger battery. This is a lawn and garden battery with more cold cranking amps than the original battery, and it's much cheaper. And I put it up front to help balance the weight out. Speaking of the weight, it is as long as it's less than 4 wheels and under 1,500 pounds, then it is still considered a motorcycle. So it is, with me in it, you know, fully ready to go if I just drove it right to a weigh station right now. Last time I checked it, it was 1,325, 1,325 pounds with me in it. So it's definitely under that weight restriction. And the weight distribution is exactly what I wanted it, which is 66% in the front, 33% in the back. So you get a lot of traction on all the wheels when you're going around corners. It handles awesome. Also, VFRs, if you know about those, they are prone to overheating because the original radiator setup, they have 2 small radiators on each side of the engine, and they don't really get good flow. So I got this radiator from a 96 Ninja and threw it on here, as well as the hoses that go back. So it's able to stay cool all the time, even in traffic. It sits right around 180, which is the sweet spot. That's when the thermostat opens up. After that, it only gets a little bit higher than that if you're sitting in traffic for a while, but even then it only gets around 200, so it's not worrisome. 220 is where you want to start worrying, but I haven't had any problems with that. All right, I'll start it up for you just so you can hear it, although the microphone on this phone might not be great. I love that sound. Rev it up a little bit. Yeah, that was like $4,000. It's pretty loud if you want it to be. Put a silencer on there to quiet it down, but it gets quite a lot of views and people walking around at grocery stores, gas stations, even on the road. You'll see a lot of people pulling out their phones to take a picture of you while you're going by. It's a pretty sweet ride. If you guys got any questions, feel free to let me know. Thank you.